Hello everyone, you are welcome to my channel Gems. Today I, Nishit Sharma, stand before you to tell you something about the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tiger written by Adrienne Chisholm Rich. Before that, I want to request you to subscribe my channel to keep on getting more videos like this. About the poem. Adrienne Chisholm Rich was born in 1929 and died in 2012. She was an American poet, essayist, and feminist. One of the most widely read and influenced poets of the second half of the 20th century. She talks about the women's experiences in her married life. She has tried to explore the inner feelings of a woman and who is living under the dominance of men. Now, Ms. Ginu Sharma will be explaining you the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tiger written by Adrienne Chisholm.
Thank you, Nishit. So today I am going to explain you the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Before that, I want to ask you some questions. Like in the Constitution of India, men and women are given equal rights. But my question is, do you think are they actually treated equally? My next question is, do you think women have just the same responsibilities and roles as their male counterparts? My next question is, as an individual, what does the word feminism mean to you? Now, I want to tell you something about the poem before I start with the explanation of the poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. What do you think the title suggests you? It is something about the tigers which Aunt Jennifer had kept at home. Maybe they were her pets. What is this? No, it is not like that. Actually, she was embroidering a tapestry on which she had drawn these tigers, but those tigers are shown in such a freeful manner. They are moving freely in the forest as shown in that tapestry. Now, if she is drawing them in this way, what was the purpose behind it? This Aunt Jennifer, who had always suffered so many difficulties in her life because of her husband. She had lived in the male-dominated society because the time when this poem was written, at that time divorce was not taken by any of the women, and that time women were compelled to the difficulties, the situations, whatever came to them as per the situation. So they were not able to take decisions at their own. Now, in this poem, we will come to know that Aunt Jennifer had suffered so many difficulties, and we come to know about the male-dominated society in which only males are the decision makers. They are the authoritarian, and they have always been the oppressor one. And now, in this poem, we will come to know how that lady who had suffered so many difficulties in her life, what she had presented through her this embroidery which she had been doing throughout the time. So let's start with the poem. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So we come to know about the tigers. You know, very first lines we think that she's just mentioning about some of the tigers, but when we go into the depth of this, we come to know that she has been doing the embroidery of these tigers on her tapestry. So what she had done, she had drawn the tigers. So those tigers are moving freely in the screen. That tablecloth, that wall hanging which she had been embroidering, on that she had shown the tiger. Those tigers are moving freely on the screen. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They are being compared to the topaz stone that is yellowish in color. So the color of the tigers is yellow, and they are living a free life because they are moving at their own place. You know what happens when we are roaming at our place, when we are living at our home, there is a certain kind of feeling of proud, and we just feel certain kind of freedom, and we feel ourselves quite safe at our place. So same thing is being shown through this image by the Aunt Jennifer. Why she is saying this thing? Because she herself had been living in a house where she had never felt herself so free. That's why she had drawn those tigers who are being shown as if they were very free. They were feeling proud. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. They. So this is anaphora used by the poet. They do not fear the men. Here she is talking about the men. Why she has used the word men here? Actually, if we talk in general, whenever animals are there in the forest, they are always afraid of the hunters. So they can be considered as men. But she herself had been facing so many troubles because of her husband. That's why specifically she has mentioned the word men. That they are not at all afraid of those men who are beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Sleek is elegant, chivalric. In ancient terms, it was used by the knights. This word was used for knights for their bravery. Here it is used for being courteous to women. So here she says that they all are walking at the normal pace and they are quite elegant. They have been courteous to the women. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Now we come to know that she is busy in doing the embroidery, but when she is doing this thing, she feels certain kind of weakness in her fingers, that even pulling this needle is becoming the difficult task for her. Here the poetess is not talking about the physical weakness of that lady. Actually she is talking about the mental weakness which she has been suffering just because of her husband. She was not allowed to do any task at her own. Whatever she had done, she had always done with the permission of her husband. So this was a task which her husband doesn't want her to do. But in spite of his wish, she is doing this embroidery task. That's why, because of that mental stress, she is not able to do this thing, and she is feeling sudden kind of weakness in her fingers, that she is even facing difficulty in pulling the needle when she was doing this embroidery. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band, she sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. You know what happens when a person gets married? Definitely the girl is given certain kind of gifts by the husband. It may be a ring, it may be a necklace, or it may be anything else. But for this woman, this Uncle's wedding band, this is actually a ring which she was wearing in her fingers. So this ring was a kind of huge burden on her mind, because she is not happily accepting that, because she is not happy with her husband. That's why it was a kind of big burden on her mind. So she was not happy with this. She wanted to remove it, but because of those shackles of the society, because of the chains of the society, she is not able to be free from this. That's why the moment she is doing this embroidery, this ring is becoming very heavy on her, because it is continuously giving her a reminder of her husband, the one who had always been cruel to her, the one who had always treated her so badly that she doesn't want to remind him at any time. But the irony of the fate is that she is to tolerate him, and she has no other option to accept it. So that's why it is quite difficult for her to do this embroidery task. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Word master is used here. For whom we use the word master? The one who has slave. So here this aunt is playing the role of a slave, because her husband treats her just like a slave only. She doesn't have any kind of her own choice. She can't live her life in her own way. She has loss of freedom. She has loss of identity. She is subjugation, and her identity is completely ignored just because of her husband. So it is said that when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. So we are being told that even after her death, when she will die, that time also that ring will still be there in her hands, and even after her death, she would be there because she would be thinking that she had faced so many difficulties, she had experienced so many bad things in her life, and she had just lived the life of a slave. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and unafraid. But the tigers she had drawn, they will be feeling proud, they will move unafraid, they will not be afraid of any kind of things. They will be moving freely in the forest, in the place where she had drawn them. Actually, she herself could not take any decision to go against her husband, but she had drawn this picture, she had embroidered a tapestry in which she had drawn those tigers which are completely free. So it's a kind of message for the other women, to the coming generation, that they should not feel themselves that much slave to their husband. If they are not satisfied, they should not live with them, because it is quite difficult to live in such a male dominated society where every decision, every action taken by the husband is acceptable to the woman, even if she is not willing for that. So this is what the gist of the point we have discussed. Even after her death, that burden of ring, that burden of their relation will still be there in the form of the ring, which will be there in her fingers even after her death. So this is what we have discussed. Now we'll discuss the word meaning of the poem. We have discussed these words: prance, walk or move around with high springy steps; topaz, a bright yellow colored stone; denizens, an animal that lives or is found in a particular place; sleek, elegant; chivalric, being courteous, especially to women, an act of a gentleman; ordeals, extremely severe tests or experiences; prancing, to move around proudly; fluttering, to move in quick, irregular motions as if being. Now, the word phrases used in the poem: denizens of a world of need means inhabitants of the forest; massive weight of uncle's wedding band means the burden of marital obligations. You know, when a girl gets married, then there are so many obligations on her. And this poem was written at a time when the girls were highly dominated by their husbands. They had no choice of their own at all. Sits heavily upon aunt means has laid a lot of stress on her. Ring with ordeals means to get entrapped in hardships and sufferings. Now let's discuss the poetic devices used in the poem. We have the symbols: uncle, aunt, tigers, wedding band, Aunt Jennifer's hand. Synecdoche and transferred epithet are used. Terrified hands, representing her being terrified. What is the fear? When she was doing embroidery, she was afraid if her husband comes, how he will react. And if he is going to react in a negative manner, how will she tolerate it? Pun, ring. Ring in her finger which sits heavily on her. And difficulties which will always surround her. So two different meanings at the same time. Irony, a weak and submissive woman weaving a picture of tigers that are strong and fearless. So this is the irony of the fate, we can say, because she was doing the task which was actually the opposite to her personality. Brutal tigers are depicted chivalric and the cultured man is depicted as an oppressor. Even when the creator dies, her work will continue to exist. Contrast the characteristics of Aunt Jennifer and that of the tiger. Alliteration, fingers fluttering. Imagery, bright topaz denizens in the world of green, men beneath the wedding band sits heavily. Hyperbole, that is to exaggerate something. The weight of a husband's wedding ring Paradox, Aunt Jennifer, a trembling and mastered woman, creates free and confident tigers. Fingers fluttering produce tigers who prance with certainty. Now you have to answer certain questions on the basis of this poem. These are MCQ. If you are able to answer these questions, that means the poem is clear to you. So I request you all to go through these questions at least once, and if you want anything from my side in my videos, you can mention in the comments box so that I could put those things in my next videos. So these are the questions. There are almost 30 questions in this poem, and you should try these questions definitely. It will give you a certain kind of confidence. Thank you.